Anyone here ever heard of Young Life back in high school?
Yes.
You might not like this story. So, like, I was about 14 years old, and, you know, I was pretty cool with Jesus. Me and him hung out on occasion, you know. We were all right with each other. And I joined Young Life because it was, you know, cute, wholesome, fun. Like, there was a little bit of, like, a sermon and stuff, and that was vibing with me. I was totally cool with it. So when I heard that there was a Young Life camp up in New York, like, just this beautiful campground with, like, volleyball pits and water slides and, like, just all this other cool shit, I was like, I'm totally down. What do I have to do? They said, why, you have to sell a bunch of people's soul to gluttony by selling a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts. And then only then you can get in. So I sold a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts, and I was on my way there on this bus. First red flag was I hated pretty much everyone on the bus. Could not get any sleep on this 9-hour ride from Virginia to New York. So, first red flag. But the next thing that happens is they're like, all right, so you guys are going to be put into different cabins and stuff where you'll be able to bond with your different, you know, people of your, like, same age group and everything. And they start off, well, how else, by, we're going to have a thing called cabin time, where we all sit around and pour our guts out to complete strangers. Now, I'm not down with this shit. You know, Catholic, we don't share feelings. That's not a thing we do. So I'm like, you guys go ahead, share your feelings in the middle of the room. I'm going to go ahead and just try to get some sleep. And it's pretty hard to do with a bunch of people staring back at you, pissed off, especially when you're trying to masturbate in secret. You know, really kills the mood. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll sit down with these people. And it's around this time that they're like, all right, so spill your guts, tell us about you. And I was like, well, you know, I've done the Catholic thing, I've been confirmed. Stop right there. That's when I find out that that Young Life is not like just non-denominational Christian. This is a Baptist kind of thing. So suddenly, oh, you came to be converted? No, that's not what I came here for. So they start guilting me for like the next hour before I'm like, okay guys, sorry, you know, we got the wrong idea here. Thus began my stranding. So, topical. So, like, at this point, I'm just like, all right, you know, nuts to you guys. I'm just going to read my Harry Potter book and just get through this. So they start noticing that I'm, like, becoming a recluse. So they start asking me, like, questions like, so why is it that you feel uncomfortable? Why have you been talking to people much? And I wanted to tell them that this shit feels like the Scarlet Letter. But instead, I was like, oh, well, you guys, have you read the most recent, you know, the last Harry Potter book? And they're like, yeah, we read it. And I was like, well, I was really bummed out that Dumbledore died. What? Oh my God, no! So these people already were not happy that I was not there to be converted, but then I spoiled their heathen book for them. So I was not in good graces with these people. So, like, at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm completely checked out. These people hate me. I'm suddenly not very fond of these sermons. And these people are getting me up at the ass crack of dawn every day. So, I try to leave the Reichstag, but these two, like, Aryan guys just, like, stand there and, like, where do you think you are going? And I was like, oh, you guys wake me up really early, so I'm going to go take a nap like a good lazy Irish Catholic. And they're like, oh, no, you don't have to listen to the sermon, but you can't leave the auditorium. So I showed them by going to the back of the auditorium and laying down and trying to take a nap. And I suddenly get woken up by one of the few people that had not, like, exiled me. Brandon, you're snoring. The entire auditorium is looking back at the fat, lazy goth kid who looks like the unsuccessful brother of fucking Seth Rogen. And they are just They are not pleased. So finally, it comes down to like one of the last things. We had this obstacle course kind of thing where we all had to cooperate as a team. As a team, we were going to get through this. We were all going to bond. And there's one part of the obstacle course. We're a bunch of, young strapping lads. Why not all of us just run a big frickin' log across a muddy field? So, at which point, I'm running along, and I find, literally, the only ditch in there. Down I go, and basically reenact the denial of Peter when they all, I'm like, help, I got a log on my back, help. And they're like, I don't know this guy. He ruined Harry Potter for me, I'm done with him. So, I'm like, my leg was totally screwed up. So, you know how you see that golf cart at like these camps and stuff, and you're like, oh, I've always wanted to ride in the back of that? Not like this. They like come onto the field and like haul me up, and I ruined the rest of the obstacle course for my team because they couldn't complete it without a full team. So, yeah, that was my story of how I was stranded, and basically, I'm really hoping that I will have a biblical revenge, that the people that deny me will be the doormen at my next comedy special. Thank you.